Okay. The Kauravas outnumber the Pandavas by 11 divisions to 7. As with many wars, the Kauravas outnumber the Pandavas. I realized the Ukrainians were still outnumbered by the Russians, so I was going to read from the Bhagavad Gita. Okay. The Kauravas outnumber the Pandavas by 11 divisions to 7. As with many wars throughout history, both sides scramble to cobble together a last-minute peace. Yeah, in each attempt at peace in Israel and Gaza, the motives and desires of each character become all the more starkly outlined. Kunti reveals to her son Karna, allied since childhood with the Kauravas, that he is in fact a half-brother of the Pandavas. Yeah, a lot of these lists. One guy had a Russian guy, my Russian friend said he had one brother was in Ukraine, the other brother was in Russia, and the other one was in what's the other country? Duryodhana rejects Krishna, rejects Krishna, who makes a last-minute diplomatic visit. The Karasa king, Dhritarashtra, sends his minister Sayanja on a similar visit to Draupadi, who has not forgotten her humiliation in the dice game, and persuades the others that war is essential to exact her revenge. So what happened? Belarus is the other country. Belarus? The Gita begins. This atmosphere of resentment and danger sets the tone for the Gita. Yeah. So I have the Ukraine conflict to set the tone for this podcast. The dramatic tension is only heightened by the powerlessness that the characters feel to stop the inevitable energy of war. Yeah, the inevitable energy. So I wasn't able to stop it in this podcast, so I'm going to stop reading the Gita. It didn't stop worse, and it didn't work. Okay. Yeah. This is Garak, enlightenment. Since childhood, the Nath Panth occult fascinated me. So the Nathis, yeah. Yes, Goraknath, I read quite a long time ago, the Goraknath and the Kanpat something yogis, and it fascinated me. Growing up in a Marathi household, he always revered Sant Janeshvar for bringing dignity to the language by creating Janeshvari, a commentary on the Srimad Bhagavad Gita. Okay, so yeah, I brought a lot of dignity to this podcast by commentating on the Bhagavad Gita. The Gita before Janeshvar Mali, an affectionate term for mother, was only accessible to those who knew Sanskrit, or the elite podcasters. I mean Brahmins. You had to be a Brahmin, so it's not really accessible. It's funny, I found out that Tulsi Sahib was a Brahmin. The common man, until the Janeshvari was written, depended upon the interpretations presented by the Brahmins. Yeah, like you'd have to depend on the Brahmins, basically, for your information back then, because they didn't have the internet. And the classical upper class at the time, that is, the Brahmins, were fluent in Sanskrit. Yeah, I was saying like on the tennis court that I publish what's happening on social media because I control the media. Like I take the pictures and I control both religion and religious texts as a result of their knowledge of the language. Janeshvar was born a Brahmin. He wrote the Janeshvari for the common folk who did not know Sanskrit. Yeah, and I'm not really an English common folk because I have like a 9th cousinship or something to the Queen of England. Okay, so don't call me a commoner, okay? So I'm not a common podcaster. The siblings Na Vrititanath and Jananath and Janeshvar, Zopan and their sister Muktibe were orphaned at a young age. Their parents Vitalpant and Rakumbabad were taken sannyas. Sannyas is the renouncement of all material and familial ties to retire into a frugal life dedicated to prayer and meditation. Well, yeah, these guys were retiring, and I guess I'm retired to a frugal life by force, okay? When the couple realized the futility of life as sannyasis, they returned to their regular life. Yeah, it's kind of a waste of time to be starving to death and grubbing around for handouts. And the Orthodox Hindu society at the time did not approve of this decision and did not grant them permission to lead a normal homely life. Yeah. I wasn't given permission to live a normal life. I was sort of put upon and stuff. The couple was thus ostracized. Yeah, they were telling on the tennis court. We were joking. We were saying that the people who we don't like, or we're what do you call it? What do you call it? They were banned on the tennis court or ostracized in the tennis courts. They're forced to play pickleball. Like if you're ostracized or you're what's the word? Discriminated against on the tennis court because they didn't think you were good enough. You were forced to play pickleball. So that's what pickleball players are. They're people who have been kicked off, have been persecuted and discriminated against on the tennis court. The couple was thus ostracized. The torture they faced at the hands of the society, bound with religious values, forced the couple to take their own life, leaving behind these 4 young children. Because they were children of an ostracized couple, no learned man was ready to take Janeshvar under his tutelage as a shishya, a disciple. Circumstances forced Janeshvar to find a guru, and his elder brother Nivrutanath belonged to the Nath Parampara. Yeah, you could be in a Nath Parampara. They have the Sant Mat Parampara, or the Radhaswami Parampara. Parampara means tradition. That goes right up to Adinath, the first Nath. The Nath cult rebelled against the obsolete Orthodox religion. Yeah, so what we're doing here is rebelling against the obsolete Orthodox religion. That's why I'm whispering that prevailed at the time. Their objective was to reform society through the thoughts of the Nath Pantha. Jnana Vishwanath is the apex of the Nath Pantha that was established by Nath. The classical tradition of Nath Pantha charts are shown on pages 90 and 91 and 92 of this book. Okay. The Pantha charts. Yeah, why don't you go to page 92 or 90? This is a simplified chart of the Nath Parampara. Okay. Yet I was telling about that other book. As I researched Janaspar, the Nath Parampara of Adinathan, Matyendranath and Goraknath started to fascinate me. It was around this time that I came across a book written by George Weston Briggs called Goraknath and the Kanpata Yogis, 1936. Yeah, that's the same book that I came across when I was a collector. And you were reading all these weird, books you got from Motanal Barsini Das or whatever it is from our trips to India. Where'd you get all these weird books? Why did you get it? Oh, well. Yeah. Why did you get it? Well, I'm not going to say. Okay. Don't say that. Okay. John Main. This is about John Main, the guy who does Christian meditation, and he's on becoming a Benedictine monk. It seemed only fitting that a successful 33-year-old Dublin law professor, a man of the world who relished the good things life had to offer, well-aged wine, the opera, theater, dinners with friends, should drive up for an interview at the Benedictine Abbey at Ailing in London in a new red MG sports car. Yeah, that's like me. I used to drive around with a new metal plate, blue metal plate, 1665 Mustang convertible with the 4-speed. And wow, you really did? Was it a 289? I recall, yours wasn't a 289. Wait a minute. You would like to think it was a 289, yeah. Again, friends puzzled why Ailing and not the more prestigious Benedictine communities of Downside or Ampleforth. But John Main liked the urban setting of Ailing. This thriving community with a charisma for school and parish work. Early in his novitiate, he met with his novice master to discuss his daily prayer discipline and meditation learned in Malaya. The novice master felt he should use a more intellectually oriented approach to prayer, using words, thoughts, and images. John Main recalls, on becoming a monk, however, I was given another method of meditation, which I accepted in obedience in my new status as a Benedictine novice. This new method was the so-called prayer of acts, that is, a half hour spent in acts of adoration, contrition, thanksgiving, and supplication, a half hour. That is to say, a prayer that was largely words addressed to God in the heart and thoughts about God in the mind. Yeah, so what about it? Yeah. That's from the John Main biography, not an autobiography. Yeah, as I was saying, some of these Indian Sanskrit books are saying the same thing, like this one. Is saying technique. Sit in Siddhasana or any comfortable meditation posture. Place the hands on the knees with the palms facing downward. Relax the whole body and allow it to become steady and still. Become aware of the natural breath. Focus on the breath. flowing in and out of the nose tip. Feel the breath becoming slow and even. Bring the awareness down to pelvic floor and direct the flow of inhalation up the Brahma Nadi at the center of the Sushumna, from Muladhara chakra at the base to Akra chakra to the midbrain. Exhale back down from the Ajna to the Muladhara, directing the flow of breath through the Brahmanadi and continue the rotation of breath and awareness up and down, stirring up the energy in the Sushumna. You're supposed to do that. Yeah. That's the Yoga Kundali Upanishad. Yeah. That's enough for now in my book readings. So, yeah, you've read enough. With the problem in Gaza, with the Israelis and the Gazans and the Middle East problems, I have to prioritize this podcast to read about schools of mysticism, and I have to prioritize sufism. Okay. How this process of accretion came about is not clear. I'm reading on page 11 from the Sufi orders in Islam. Yeah, pupils had normally traced or ascribed their method or teraqua or course to the revered teacher. Yeah, so the course, you're taking a course is a teraqua, and he was their guarantee of validity and training. But so far, this had been primarily a direct personal link. It is true that Ali al-Hujwiri enumerates 12 schools of Sufism. Okay. So he's already in the year 1074, and he's enumerating 12 schools of Sufism. So we're going to get down and dig into these 12 schools, and the whole body of aspirants to Sufism is composed of 12 sects, 2 of which are condemned, though I'm condemning 2 of them in this podcast, while the remaining 10 are approved, and the other 10 are approved. The latter are the these are the rejects. Yeah, I was saying the people, it's sort of like the people on the tennis court are rejected, or what were we saying, that they're like discriminated against? They have to play pickleball. Yeah, we were laughing about how people who are rejected on the tennis court have to play pickleball. So that's what pickleball players are, is rejects from the tennis court. Okay. The latter are the Mahasibis and the Kwasaris, the Taifuris and the Janadas and the Nuris and the Salis and the Hakimas and the Kararasis and the Kwafifis and the Karasis. All these assert the truth and belong to the mass of Orthodox Muslims. So, yeah, 10 of them belong to the Orthodox Muslims, and 10 out of 12 people they play in the standard model of tennis playing. They play the standard school tennis. Yeah, they play standard high school tennis class tennis. Okay. But 2 out of 12 of them they're just too screwed up, and they have to go play pickleball. Okay. Yeah, but which ones are, I know they actually said, somebody said that in the upcoming tournament they should wear their they should wear their countries, and we have so many different countries. So like you might have Egypt. Oh yeah, we definitely have Colombia, Peru. We have people from India. We have Pakistan. We definitely got Tibetans. We got Nepalese. Could go on and on with in our neighborhood in the Jackson Heights. There's all kinds of different sects, 12 sects. And all of these assert the truth, and they all assert that their top spin is the correct way to do it, and not all of them actually, but most of them have the standard model of tennis hitting. Yeah, and I don't even know that I'm standard. In fact, I could be in the condemned sect. I could be. Yeah, but they don't really. I'm not. They were saying I'm no longer condemned by the Orthodox Muslims on the tennis court. Okay. The two condemned sects are firstly the Hululis, who derive their name from the doctrine of incarnation, Hulu, and incorporation, Tim Tisat, and with whom are connected the Salimi sect of anthropomorphists, and secondly, the Halachis, who have abandoned the sacred law and have adopted heresy, and with whom are connected the Ivahatis and the Pharisees. Yeah, well, why do you have to identify with these heretical sects and even read about them? And why are you supportive of the rejects on the court? Yeah, it's funny, like, we had this, like, volleyball game, and there was, like, these awful players. They're not even players. They're like crazy people, but we didn't reject them. What? Why didn't you just tell them to get out? Tell them to get out of there. Get out of our way. But I'm very accepting of people in our volleyball game. So we just played around them. But these are theoretical ways, none of which developed into Sila Tarikas. Yes, Sila Tarikas. There's a path, like a mystical path, or a school of mysticism. Tarikas. Their teaching was modified by the pupils in accordance with their own mystical experiences. Yeah, and I've done the same thing where I'll modify my teachings in accordance with my own mystical experiences. But don't you follow the Orthodox path? I mean, you wouldn't. I mean, I suppose you fall under heretical, yeah. Yeah, I'm on the outside as a heretic in a way. Oh. Is that because you have gone off into the deep end and you read too many different books and you're too universal? Yeah. In fact, each worry singles out as exceptional the transmission from Abu Abbas as Sarari, whose school of Sufism is the only one that has kept its original doctrine unchanged. And the cause of this fact is that Nasa Murv have never been without some person who acknowledged his authority and took care that his followers should maintain the doctrine of their founder. The names of certain of these early masters were incorporated in the mystical isnads of the Tarikas. Isnad. I like these words. I might actually learn them. A mystical isnad. Why are you making a nod to these mystical Islamic, Arabic words and all this stuff. Who cares? Well, we're trying to promote Sufism to tame the problems in the Middle East. Okay. Why would that tame it? Well, I'm just saying that the Economist says it will. Okay. Mystical Isnads of the Tariqas, the key figure in the lines of most Tariqas is Abu Qasim al-Janad. So now we have a key figure here, Junad, Junaid, Yatub Anin Misra. Though continually quoted in support of mystical thought, is missing from the isnads. All right, so some people are continually quoted by quotationary philosophers. So he's continually quoted by somebody like me. Okay. Similarly, Hussein ibn Mansur al-Hallaj. Yeah. Hallaj is really something else. So. Yeah, some people think he's a big deal in Sufism, which he is. Okay, is not normally found in them. The way was later attributed to him, whereas al-Bistami is found in the chains of many orders. For example, the Naqshbandis. Yeah, that guy, the guy who wrote the symbols or something in Sufism was one of those guys. Where are they going? Oh, I'm stopping. There's so much noise. I'm either a lame podcaster or a layman podcaster, depending on how you look at it. So I'm really looking at Layman Pang, who's like a practitioner of Zen, and Pang from the book Layman Pang. Layman Pang appears to have spent a good deal of time in monasteries today as well, for those who really want to get their toes wet. At least months and years of practice in an authentic Zen monastery is strongly recommended. Yeah, well, I'm not sure if it should be recommended, but in fact, I can't really say I've spent several months or years in an authentic Zen monastery. In the modern world, however, lay Zen will naturally be the focus. It is just a matter of time until a real lay Zen springs forth amongst ordinary people with ordinary minds amidst householders around the globe. It's only a matter of time when it springs up, so in this podcast. What? Did you make tea? What is that? It's only a matter of time when Zen springs forth among ordinary folks as a result of this podcast. Indeed, the initial cultivation is already well underway, so it's really well underway anyways, because Huh? What's meditation is Zen, and Zen is becoming more popular, and so is meditation. What is that? You have your hat? Oh, the pan. Put it by the door. You always put it by the puerta, so you don't forget. No video over there. Yeah, the pan. Yeah, it's okay. Where's our car? The coche. We take coche. Yeah. You have muchas cosas? Yeah. We take in coche. Yeah. So cute. My wife is so beautiful. You're muy hermosa. David, no toshi? No.
Para organización.
You're organizing.
Sí, sino, amor, yo quiero un espejo aquí. Yo quiero un espejo para yo sentarme, organizarme el cabello.
You can't organize yourself?
No, un espejo.
Your pijo.
Yo quiero un espejo.
Pijo, your hair? You need a mirror? You have a mirror? Pijo.
Espejo.
Espejo.
¿Cómo se dice espejo en inglés? Espérate.
Yeah, we actually cover Spanish and English in this podcast. So I haven't done work in my literary Spanish studies, and I've been lazy.
Yo quiero comprar un espejo para tenerlo aquí en mi cuarto.
You need a mirror for the bathroom. I want to buy a mirror to have it here in my room. David comprende. I guessed. Yeah, I guessed. Can I see the Spanish words? Huh.
En Marina hay unos que venden a $10.
Yeah, you should buy more, buy in bueno quality, because there's malo, they have, in 99 they sold some for $10. Well, that's okay. Sometimes these mirrors are really ugly. I've seen mirrors that don't even work right. When I look in the mirror, it looks ugly. David's no hermoso, but you're hermoso.
David también.
David's hermoso. David's guapo.
Muy guapo.
You think I'm guapo?
Oh, sí. David muy guapo.
I'm muy guapo.
Mi esposo muy guapo.
Oh, thank you. Does the mirror reflect that? Oh.
Champiñón ya listo.
Oh, ¿de listo?
Sí, ya cuando you finish.
I'm coming. Okay, I've finished. Is it listo? Well, I save it more. I'm saving this work. I've done meditation, and I am a householder, obviously, in this podcast. So I'm not a monastic Zen Buddhist. I'm a layman Buddhist. I practice Zen at home in the morning before my wife gets up. Okay, so Zen Buddhist retreats within this podcast for lay people in the West have been growing in frequency and numbers in recent years. Yeah, we hope so. They have a retreat in Chicago, it's called a rejuvenation program or something. So it's mostly for old people. What? Why old people? They're the only ones who feel they need rejuvenated. Why would a 20-year-old need rejuvenation? Well, they technically do, so. Lay retreats have been held in Europe and the United States, blazing an authentic Zen path on home ground in the modern world, providing opportunities for real encounters with elder sisters and brothers in the Dharma. Well, yeah, I meet up with a lot of elder brothers and sisters. Yeah, but you said there were You could be young, brothers and sisters, or there could be, or there are, and yeah, layman Pang's descendants are everywhere. Yeah, they were saying in a way this layman Pang guy is rather important, and I don't know why, but if you have a guy who practices at home and he maybe knew the real Zen, yeah, and he knew what, he had met the founder of Soto Zen and the founder of Rinzai Zen, so that would be the equivalent of meeting the founder of Shiite Islam, or maybe Shiite and Sunni. Oh, do you know those founders, or I don't know. I know some of the different branches of Radhaswami, and I've been to Bias, and I've been to Agra, and I've been to the temple of a Swamiji, and I've been to Bias, where Jamal Singh is there, and I've been, where you've been around, yeah. I was there as a layman meditation practitioner. Buddhism's fundamental goal has been described in the Pali Canon. Yeah, it sounds cool, that word Pali Canon, just to say Pali. Just to say the word Pali and Canon together is kind of cool. I will say that I used to say in my postings that when I was playing the piano a lot and going to the library, I'd say, I'm playing the entire Western canon and Western classical music. Everything. I'm playing everything. Yeah, it could be a choral work, a symphony, or a string quartet. It doesn't matter. You played everything? Well, I joked that I was playing everything. And they had 800,000 scores in the Lincoln Center Public Library. And I was you're allowed to take out 50 at a time, because there was a point where I was trying to take out more than 50, and they said, you've reached the limit. So I actually almost kept on an ongoing basis 50 scores at once. What? You're crazy, and you don't know anything about the Pali Canon. Yeah. The Pali Canon as the cessation of this whole mass of suffering entangled in the grand I am conceit. Yeah, and I was entangled in the grand conceit that I am playing the entire Western canon. But you gotta remember that I do employ humor in this podcast, so if I say that I'm playing the entire Western canon, or I'm playing the complete sonatas of Beethoven, or the complete selection of the Chopin nocturnes. Huh?
Pásame tu reloj.
Huh?
Pásame tu reloj.
My reloj? Oh, that's a good idea. She puts the cover on my watch, because in reality, she puts it on, and then I realize that it's not actually working with the cover. And then I take it off, and then I got to turn off that thing where it says I fell down when I didn't fall down. Yeah. So this is the watch. I have to do something with it. Oh, technology has distracted you and your concentration? Yeah. That's what happens. So, where are you? And then you lose your place, and this is crazy. Yeah. Well, I was saying that this one time, which is It's not that it's even a good recording, but I decided that I was going to play all of the Chopin nocturnes in one sitting, nonstop, which I did actually. I can't say that it was nonstop like a marathon Chopin. The quality is, man, it's okay, but who knows how good I played them all. The layman expressed it this way in 2 stanzas of a poem. The will to survive must be killed off. All right, so my will to survive, to play even more pieces, must be killed off. What? You must kill off your ambitions to try to play the entire Western canon and give up. Okay. Also, I kind of gave up that project, though I still play and all that stuff, and I've toned down my ambitions, and I'm still a player. Oh, I see. You're still a player, even though you lost the tennis tournament. You're out there and you glorified. I glorified the guy who beat me, and I made a tremendous video of him killing the other guys. He actually went on to win more games. And the will to survive must be killed off. Once it is killed off, there will be peace. Okay. Yeah, once I kill off a lot of these ambitions and these plans and these grandiose schemes that I have, then there will be peace. Aren't the esteemed sages just regular people who have resolved this matter? Yeah. Yeah, it turns out I'm just a regular person. Though I'll claim